gospel of the kingdom and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they had fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. For a few minutes, this is our focused thought. Did you get the call? Did you get the call? In Matthew, realizing that in accepting the call of Jesus, he guaranteed himself unemployment. In other words, when you compare Matthew to the other disciples, many of which were fishermen, they had something to fall back on. You know, when you start out there, some folks say, I'm going to try it, and if it does not work, then at least I got something I can fall back on. So Matthew, one that accepted the call, realized that in accepting it, there would be for him no turning back. Two changes took place in Matthew's life when he decided to follow Jesus. And they also take place in the life of every believer, and every individual that accepts the call, that receives the call. Those two things that took place in Matthew's life, first and foremost, was that Jesus gave Matthew a brand new life. See, he not only belonged to a new group, but he then, in accepting the invitation, belonged to the Son of God. I can imagine it must have been a wonderful change. One songwriter wrote a song, and said, oh, what a wonderful change in my life since Jesus came into my life. The second thing that brought about change in Matthew's life was that Jesus gave him a new purpose for his natural skill. When Matthew followed Jesus, when he said, yes, I'll go. When he got up and left the tax collecting table, the only tool from his past job that he took along with him was his pen. The reason a lot of us cannot progress farther along in our walk with the Lord is because we try to bring too much of what we used to do in our new walk with the Lord. But all he brought with him apparently was his pen. You see, from the beginning, God had made Matthew a record keeper. See, if you're going to be a tax collector, you got to be good with the books. You have to be good at recording. So, in other words, when Jesus called him out of that work and calling him into an even greater work, this allowed Matthew But he had been busy teaching and preaching all along. Jesus had been healing. The word had already gone out that he was a healer. And the healing ministries of Jesus were signs within themselves that what he taught was true. Jesus, in our text, talks about the fact that he was moved with compassion. And this deep, sympathetic movement within the heart and soul of Jesus is what many theologians accredit as being what prompted him to perform many miracles. He's looking for workers that will know how to deal with people's problems. Y'all ain't know the history. You see, you can't tell anybody that's suffering from a disease that God is able to heal your disease if you've not been there on a sick bed yourself. You cannot tell someone that is yet struggling, trying to make ends meet, that God will make a way somehow if you've not experienced it for yourself. If you cannot understand what folk are going through, how can you tell them? Don't hear me? When you get a call, ain't but one or two things you can do with the call. You can either answer the call, or you can ignore the call. And one thing about the call that comes from God, not only is it a call, but it is an invitation. You know the joy that it brings to your heart when someone calls you and invites you over. Oh, y'all aren't hearing me? They might just call you and invite you to come over for dinner. They might call you and invite you to come over and share in a birthday celebration. They might call you to come and be a part of a baby shower. But the fact you got an excuses for not answering the call.